Hey everybody, good evening. Man, been a rough Monday. I'm exhausted. Jim's exhausted. He has showered and he's in bed. He had a rough day today. He started off with a doctor's appointment that my mother-in-law was taking him to while I was at work. And his stomach was very upset, and that caused some issues. Then he started in having dizziness, and then while he was at the doctor's, so one of the things that Jim goes through, and I don't know, I've read online through and read several things where it could be a part of his Alzheimer's. He keeps having to have his ear irrigated. They have to go in and they have to suck it out, and it's gross, I know, but it's just part of it. And it causes him a lot of discomfort and a lot of pain. I don't think what was going on today was because of that. He had a massive headache, and he has headaches all the time. I don't know if that's part of it. I keep asking about these headaches. The doctors don't seem to think it's a big deal, but they are all the time. Regardless, my mother-in-law got him to the doctor, did get him to the ENT. They did the procedure. When it got time to get up, he was very unsteady. His legs and arms, or his legs and hands had started shaking a lot. And my mother-in-law called me, and she was worried, so I left work. Tried to call our family doctor, but they were at lunch and didn't get back till 1:30. You can't leave a message if it's an emergency. They say go to the emergency room. So I met my mother-in-law and my husband at my brother-in-law and sister-in-law's house to assess the situation. He wasn't able to get into their house by himself or get to the bathroom by himself. I don't even really know how to explain what his legs were doing. They were shaking, almost to the point of not being able to stand, like if you just didn't have really good balance, that type. His hands were, his joint, he was complaining with his joints being stiff, and it was kind of like when you have like muscle cramps and how your feet or your hands will disfigure. That's what his hands were doing, and that has happened before, I will say. He was not feeling well at all, and so we made the decision just to, for safety purposes and not to wait until the doctor opened up. We'd take him to the ER. When we got there, they ran a whole battery of tests on him, which, takes a while. They were really very good. His nurse, Erin, was great. It turns out that I guess we're just at a different level now with this Alzheimer's. We've crossed over a little bit in what they call tremors. They came on fast, and I think of tremors as just your hands kind of shaking or something. These were not like that. His hands were shaking a lot, and his legs were shaking a lot, and he wasn't able to walk or not. He was able to walk. He was not able to walk unassisted. It scared him a lot. So by the time I met my mother-in-law at my brother-in-law and sister-in-law's, and I took Jim to the ER, and she just followed me. But on the way, he started hyperventilating and started feeling very nauseated and got like the dry heaves because he hadn't eaten today, which was another thing. I thought maybe it was because I've just switched this over to this keto diet or keto plan, and I thought maybe his body was detoxing, and that was just some sort of side effect from that. The doctors assured me that was not what it was from. That is part of the Alzheimer's. So today kind of sucked because it's one of those rare occurrences where he's scared, and you can tell he's scared. He doesn't understand what his body's doing. He He wants a cure for it. He wants it to stop. He wants us to find a resolution for it or a cure for it. That's why we do all these doctor's appointments. But I don't see any help, anything that's helped so far. It really sucks. I try to put a happy spin on some of these videos because I don't want people thinking that our life sucks and it's just horrible. And there will be a day it'll get there. I know it's coming. I'm not completely oblivious to that. But right now it's not that bad. However, I do guess I need to start making the decision of how much do I leave him home by himself. When I say by himself, keep in mind that my mother and my father are right next door. They come over a lot and check on him. He has a phone. He can call them anytime. However, I did make the call to her today and to let her know if they're going to be gone all day. Going forward, we probably either need to, one, make plans for him to go with them, or two, I need to make plans to have somebody come and stay with him because this scared him a lot. And I don't want him to go through this a lot alone. And the way they explained this is these would be coming on more. I just don't know how much frequently or how much. But I don't want him to experience this by himself. Man, you hear people say all the time how much this disease sucks. It does. It sucks for both parties. It sucks for him. He doesn't understand what his body's doing. He doesn't know what to do to help himself or to make it stop. And he's still, in his mind, sane enough that he really knows, understands that, and he really wants to try to help it, but he doesn't know what to do to help it. And he wants to help around here. He wants to help me. He knows that it's hard, but his mind cannot stay on track. When we got home, he was really, really tired and exhausted, and all he wanted to do was take a shower and get in bed. But I had to keep reminding him of that over and over and over again until he finally got that done, because he would just find himself back at the table while I'm trying to work and get things done. He would just come back and same conversations over and over again, and it gets frustrating for him. He wants, like I said, he wants to help out around the house, but his mind is going more and more, and I can tell that it is, and that just really kind of sucks. So as happy as I try to spin it, and I do, we do have great days. We do have very happy days. We have days like this where they just kind of suck all the way around, and I don't really know a way to say that except for that I try to find something each day to be grateful for. And I want to make sure that I am grateful every day, because every day that I have with him is a blessing given to us by our Heavenly Father. So today that blessing is just that, again, he knows us. Every day that he knows us is truly, truly a blessing. I'll be calling his neurologist tomorrow at the request of the ER doctors to let him know that the tremors have started. I don't know what that means for him. I don't know if they will want him to start him on a new medicine. I don't know if they will want to adjust the medicine they already have him on. I don't know. So if you have a moment tonight and you feel so inclined, I would ask that you just give him a little prayer and kind of lift him up to Jesus and let them do their little magic out there in heaven land. I wanted to tell you kind of something really sweet that happened yesterday. I just didn't, kind of couldn't get that in yesterday. And we were getting ready for church, and My husband's father died, oh gosh, time goes by so fast. 5, 6 years ago. I'm not really sure what year he died. My sister-in-law killed me on this one. Um, but my mother-in-law gave my husband some stuff at my father-in-law's, and one of them was his cowboy hat. And my husband stopped wearing a cowboy hat a long time ago. We were getting ready from church, and all of a sudden I saw him getting this hat box down from the closet. And he got the hat down and he put it on, and he was going to wear it to church, but it needs to be shaped the way my husband wants it shaped. So he asked me if we could take it into Cavender's and have it shaped in his shape. And so we will. We'll take him there. But when things like this happen, I realized that he's probably thinking of him in his mind. And so sorry. This is hard for me to talk about, but it's really sweet that he's thinking about his dad and that he has something that probably helps him feel a little closer to his dad. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that he has such fond memories of somebody who didn't have to raise him but stood up and did, and took responsibility for him and walked him through things and was a great role model for him. And my mother-in-law and father-in-law have been, so I know there are going to be people who don't understand what I'm talking about, but my father-in-law adopted him when he was a baby, and then he and Jim's mom were divorced, and so he remarried, and he remarried my current mother-in-law, and they have been such great role models for him and his sisters and brothers, and they have been there for them. And even though my father-in-law is not there, my mother-in-law is there every single time that we need her. She has been there for my children. She is the only grandmother on that side of the family that my children even know. And she's just such a blessing to our family. And she is such a spiritual person for the Lord. And I just don't even know what we would do without her. She is so optimistic about everything. I wish I could be even a fourth optimistic as she is. But she is. I'm sorry. I'm just really tired. And I think just the gravity of today is starting to wear in. That's when it wears in, when I get really tired. Most of the time when I'm not so tired, I can handle all this. But I usually typically go through this mess one time during the day. And this must be my time for today. So just being thankful for certain things today. She would be one of them, as well as my parents being one of them. And then just, like I said, the fact that he knows us and the fact that he's still here and he is still able to help around the house, and just that he is still able to express how he's feeling is just a blessing in itself. So I'm going to leave you with that. Once I talk to his neurologist and find out if there is something that we need to be doing, I will follow up, and hopefully we have better week this week, and I hope that you have a blessed week, and I hope it's great, and be thankful each day if you're not going through this, that you don't have to. Have a great day, a great week. Good night.